Congratulations, you're in the glory of God. Congratulations, He has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
Of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, my humble boss. Commissioner, Information Ministry, representing the Ministry of Information, Honorable Ya Ami Toure. Managing Director for Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, MAJaC, Mr. Sang Assignment Mendy. Director of Training, Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, Mr. James Baji. Board Chairperson, the Gambia Press Union, representing the board, Vice President, Mr. Sharif. CEO, NACA, Professor Abubakar Musa Kundiri. Representing the Dean of the School of Journalism and Digital Media, University of the Gambia, Dr. Onifade, my own boss. Representative of the Inspector General of Police, Commission of Human Rights and Professional Standards, Mr. Ansumana Sanyang. Gambia Armed Forces Director of Press and Public Relations, Mr. Malik Sanyang. Director General of Immigration, represented by the able press officer, my own boss, Mr. Siman Low. CEO Native Organic Hub, Mr. Alfuzini Jamei and Mr. Ismail Abaji Jr. represented. President of the 4th Executive Council, MAJaC Students Union, Mr. Ibrahim Ambai. Colleagues from the press, board members at MAJaC, Auntie Isa Davis, Mr. Esa Sow. Dedicated staff and management of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communications. Esteemed partners, sponsors, honored guests, proud parents and guardians, fellow alumni, and most importantly, our graduates of the 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with profound honor and deep humility that I stand before you today as the Master of Ceremonies for this remarkable occasion, the graduation ceremony of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, MAJaC. My role is both simple and complex. To give you the proceedings and layout of this important occasion. But before then, kindly allow me to formally unveil and set the pace for the purpose of our convergence today. As an alumnus of this noble institution, MAJaC, this moment resonates deeply with me. MAJaC to me is not merely an academy. It is a beacon of ethical media practice, a breeding ground for responsible communicators, a space where voices are refined to inform, to educate, to inspire and transform society.
In halls of learning, MAJaC embraced a place of knowledge, where friendship bloomed and laughter flowed, where lectures inspired, guiding each thread, nurturing minds and relevant truth. It always started like a dream when these young souls walk into a home, a room, chasing dream through threat, through late night edicts to early morning calls. A journalist's journey, words that unfold stories untold, truth be bold, with cameras, pen on papers.
This is a day that brings memories to life, an unforgettable day that every student strives. This is a month with unwavering smiles, sorrows, and joy. But there was a time, far from this time, in that time, MAJaC speaks. Headlines must be catchy your leads, must connect your story, must be newsworthy. You must meet assignment deadlines. When English faces trouble, then Korea correct. At is a preposition of place. From syntax to semantics, everything becomes a real war. Mama wakes when the morning alarm rings. Every day these young souls waving a car to reach their safe place. MAJaC's call was a rebirth for these young souls who unlearn yet relearn, with hurdles yet full of excitement. Lecturers becomes their hero, their source of inspiration. They are like reflectors that shows potential.
The path of MAJaC became their usual routine. Truth stories, dark moments that glow with every word, a truth reveal, champions with hearts that heal. It's so sad to say goodbye, so sad to leave the shade of MAJaC, a place that becomes a vision, a mission, and even today's solution.
As you answered to the call of Tyrion, this day is not just finishing school, it is stepping into a new war. A war where your words heal opinion, where your work uncover truths, where your voice build voices.
You're no longer just students.
You are no longer just students,
But professionals,
not desk researchers,
but field reporters,
lab editors,
not secondary information givers,
but real newsroom workers,
not newsroom simulated.
but storytellers. This is indeed a new phase.
Cap off and clap for they deserve an upload.
Stand tall as a new journey begins, a new journey ends.
May your
Be ready
words
to stand into a new world.
May your words be sharp, your spirit be bold. May your stories inspire and your heart be melt. Congratulations to our juniors.
Thank you.
Honorable guests, respected traders, my beloved classmates, parents, my dear family, good afternoon to you all. Today is a day I once thought I could only witness in a dream. I stand here as the valedictorian of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, class of 2025, graduating with an advanced diploma in journalism and a higher diploma in film and photography. When I look back at this moment, I see more than just certificates. I see a long journey filled with sacrifice and survival. I came from Sandu Misra, a village where very few children have the rare opportunity to start and finish basic and secondary education. Many of my friends dropped out, not because they didn't want to learn, but because their parents needed them on the farms and the gardens. Poverty pushed them out of the school. I survived, but the reality is that it comes with heavy sacrifice. There were glorious days of mango seasons, I remember, baba seasons or groundnut seasons, where I would sell those things to afford food at school or to buy a book. My parents tried their best, but with the struggle of feeding a family, I had to support myself in whatever small way I can. Every day after school, I went straight to the farm. And when I was on the afternoon shift, I had to walk on the farm before going to school. I collected firewood for my family so they can cook. I made sure the donkey under my care eat and drank on several occasions. I pedaled bicycle for 6 kilometers from Sandu Misra to Diabuku Batapa to attend classes, and in days my bicycle broke down, I had to walk just to reach school. These challenges had consequences. I failed once, my first time I set grade 12 exam. I had just 3 credits. I failed English language, I failed mathematics and the rest. But failure didn't stop me, it powered me. I later resorted to those when I was at the Gambia College, School of Education, determined to raise despite the weight of my circumstances. Growing up poor meant countless days going to school without no money. No breakfast, nothing to eat until I return home at 4 p.m. Even now, my colleagues at the office keep wondering how I spend long hours without eating. What they do not know is that is how I was forged from hardship and endurance. As the MAJaC saying goes, a child raised by thunder cannot be frightened by the sound of a gun. And indeed, I was raised by thunder. Many students I graduated with in high school have already earned their masters, and I am still climbing, slow but steady. Not because I lack potential, but because poverty delays you, it does not stop you. For I do not envy their journey, as they are moving on their own pace, just as I am also. I carried something heavier than fear, responsibility. As the first son of my family, I am the backup. I cannot afford to fail. I could not afford to fail. My siblings look up to me. I represent every village boy who dares to dream beyond his circumstances. Most importantly, the media is my passion. Storytelling is my heartbeat, and communications is my calling. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to acknowledge a loss that weighed heavily on my heart today. I recently lost an uncle, Muhammad Bara, a man who was not just an uncle, but my father in disguise. From the day I was born, he stepped into a role that many would sigh of. He taught me how to walk. He took me to school, clothed me, fed me, and guided me through the hardest moments of my childhood. When life was rough, the world felt cold, he was my blanket. When I cried, he wiped my tears and never wanted to see me sad. His words were gentle, his love unconditional, and his presence my sanctuary. Alhamdulillah, everything happens by the will of Allah. Yesterday, we observed his 40 days charity. And today, standing on this podium, I dedicate all my awards and achievements and this valedictorian honor to the loving memory of my late uncle. You stood by me during my childhood education days when hope was fragile and resources were only few. This achievement is yours, Baba. Your sacrifice was not in vain. May Allah grant you Jannatul Firdaus. Amen. Alhamdulillah, without Allah's mercy, none of this would have been possible. To my parents, thank you for the sacrifice you made long before I understood them. To my uncles, thank you so much for harboring me in your household during my high school education from Gambia College to MAJaC. To my siblings, you inspired me to keep pushing. To my wife, Nima, thank you for standing with me, believing in me, and being the silent strength behind everything I have achieved recently. Before I moved on, ladies and gentlemen, kindly join me giving a round of applause to our trainers, please. I would like to take a moment to thank the entire MAJaC family, not only those who stood in front of us in the classrooms, but also those who work quietly behind the scenes. To our trainers, thank you for your patience, discipline, mentorship, and belief in us. Even when we doubted ourselves, you pushed us. You corrected us when we were wrong, pushed us when we are so comfortable, and celebrated us today like proud parents. To the administrative staff, thank you for keeping this institution running smoothly, handling our concerns, guiding us through procedures, and always offering support when needed. To our security personnel, thank you for ensuring our safety every single day. You welcomed us at the gate, watched over us during late practical sessions, there were more of them, and treated us not just as students, but as your own children. And Yase will make sure the environment is clean and welcome us with a big smile on her face. Your contribution was may not always be seen on the stage, but they are deeply felt in our success. So today's achievement belongs to you as much as it belongs to us. To my classmates, the class of 2025, we survived deadlines, field works, rewrite, retake, group assignments, and sleepless nights. But we survived together. We all know that MAJaC is not for the weak. This point reminds me of Barrister Barrow. I was supposed to do a presentation on an assignment, but I had a mission in Senegal. I was in Dakar when I sent a voice message to Barrister Barrow for an excuse. He said no. These were his exact words when he replied, well, Mr. Barra, you may as well do a video and send it. I can mark it virtually. Wow.
Yeah.
And when I narrated this to Mustafa Cisse, he said, no, ma, Barrister is right. There is no room for laziness and idleness in MAJaC. You will work wherever you are. That was tough, boy. It was tough. Indeed. But today, we stand here at the finish line of something big and at the start of something even bigger. Years ago, we walked into MAJaC as strangers, unsure, nervous, and young. Today, we live as family, as fighters, as people who grew up together and learned more than books could ever teach. This advanced diploma isn't just a paper. It is every night you stayed up studying when you wanted to quit. It is every lesson life taught you between the pages. It is every laugh, every tear, every moment you thought you could not make it, but you did. Some of us live today not knowing what is next, and that is okay. If my story taught me anything, it's that real success is not knowing all the answers, but daring to ask questions and keep pushing. The world out there isn't easy, but neither are we. We are the generation that fails, stand up, and tries again. Thank you. May Allah bless our journey. And congratulations to the MAJaC class of 2025. We made it. Thank you.
Thank you, valedictorian ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for Mr. Lamin B. Barra. That was a powerful speech. I never wanted it to stop. I just wanted it to keep going. Congratulations. And thank you for representing the village people. We there here. You can relate.
Kuba bekelale, Kuba zike. Kuba bekelale, Jomina sang. Kuba bekelale, Kuba zike. Kuba bekelale, Luo lebelola, Luba lebelola. Yinan sango de Luba katang lebelola, Luo lebelola, Luba lebelola. Yinan sango de. Fonse millions on compte. Neta min duala, what duale javita. What the negativity far away. Happiness darab, more love and more money. Yinan sango kodo darajo tua jabo ni parago. What I went Yinan sango you so bad make like business. Jaman be yelela, they know what's on the willy part. Luo lebelola, Luba lebelola. Yinan sango de Luba. Nala paila ye. Luba lebelola. Yinan sango de. Dige. Johan bubu. Johan my next one. Uyu mo bulen dem mene. Laula chat. Yalla ñu yalla musal ci chat. Musal ñu ci non bu ñu resolve bu ñu jege karoka. Yalla ñu yalla musal ci chat. Musal ñu ci non bu ñu resolve bu ñu jege karoka. Karoka domi jamburla. Karoka lalalman. Karoka domi jamburla. Je karoka karmashala. Bifukin bisul nyana yalla musal nyuci konon. Musal nyuci jakala kanyu fuyat agul buga jem lumbon senyum sori. Your mind and be ready to enjoy. I just wanna enjoy. Free up your mind and be ready to enjoy. Yeah.
on violent mama enjoy. Hey. Good night, violent mama enjoy. Hey. Enjoy yourself with freedom, come could you do best? Container by your go begel, you say best. Life it is so go hard, you can do less less. Walk and play, enjoy, dolly, cherry your kunye. Follow what to spend on the mood to enjoy. Them party chili, the picture, the who can join. Do mama yentara na pechanya rubato.
It's really interesting that Ahmad was created a middle name for me. And this middle name actually has been there even before Ahmad came to MAJaC. But it's something that I really feel proud of, because if I hadn't been giving those assignments, Amadou, probably you wouldn't have been here, serving as Master of Ceremonies. Today is not just a celebration. It is the fulfillment of a promise and the beginning of a professional legacy. You stand at the edge of a rapidly evolving media landscape, where storytelling carries power and truth carries responsibility. In this world, media does not simply mean event reporting. It shapes understanding, influences change, and gives voice to the unheard. Today, we celebrate resilience, discipline, vision, and capabilities. Through you, we honor a generation of young professionals who deliberately choose demanding but noble paths that requires courage, creativity, and an unwavering commitment of truth. We proudly graduate students of journalism, communication, digital media production and management, and film and photography. You are all prepared not only to enter the workforce, but to help shape the future of our nation. As ambassadors of MAJaC, you represent our renewed institutional vision, which is to strengthen participatory democracy, social cohesion, and sustainable development in the Gambia by nurturing critical and creative minds for the evolving world of media, civil society, and creative industries. As you step up into your careers, remember the power you hold. Every story you tell, every image you capture, and every platform you manage, you can foster transparency, inspire dialogue, and challenge injustice. Your duty is not only to inform, but to enlighten and to serve society with integrity. This year's graduation theme, Framing the Future, Media and Communication at the Heart of National Development, speaks directly to your role in nation building. Media is not an optional in democracy. It is essential. Indeed, it remains the fourth estate, holding power accountable while empowering citizens with credible information. MAJaC contributes to national development by producing ethical, skilled, and responsible communicators. Through rigorous training and critical thinking, our graduates are equipped to report accurately, promote dialogue, and strengthen democratic culture. Dear graduates, our success today is the product of your perseverance. Behind this celebration are long nights of assignments, tight deadlines, rewrites, edits, criticisms, and self-doubt. I know some of you, when you started at some point you asked yourself, can I really do this? Why can't I just leave and go? But thanks to some of the trainers who have been there for you, encouraging you, you persevered. You enjoyed the demanding curricula designed to combine professional practice with ethical grounding. Your presence here today is a proof of your resilience and commitment to excellence. To our journalism and communication graduates, you are the custodians of public trust. You have been trained to ask difficult questions, verify facts, and give voice to the marginalized. Remember, journalism is about responsibility, not popularity, and communication is about influence, not noise. To our digital media and film and photography graduates, you are the visual architects of our time. You possess both technical mastery and strategic insights to lead a creative and competitive digital era where, while remaining grounded in authenticity and truth. At MAJaC, you were trained not to be passive consumers of information, but to actively contribute to society. The Gambia needs your voice, creativity, and leadership. To our board members, faculty, administrative, and auxiliary staff, you are the unseen architects of this success. Your dedication and mentorship created the environment where these dreams could grow. To parents and guardians, thank you for your sacrifice and believe in these graduates. Your support made this moment possible. Once more, graduates, the road ahead will not always be smooth. Opportunities may delay, rejections may come, and some projects may fail. But remember, many successful alumni, myself included, once stood where you stand today, hopeful and uncertain. Today, MAJaC alumni are shaping the media landscape and creative industry across the Gambia and beyond. You are next in this line. Carry with you the values instilled in you: professionalism, discipline, curiosity, and service. Wherever you go, uphold the integrity of your craft. Let truth guide your work and ethics define your legacy. On behalf of the management, the board, staff, parents of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, I congratulate you wholeheartedly. Go forth with confidence. Use the power of media to inspire, to inform, and to transform our nation. To our parents, to our partners rather, the Gambia Press Union, Gambia Media Support, which is a Danish-based civil society organization, NACA, and the Ministry of Higher Education, thank you for your continued support. Graduates, the future is watching and counting on you. Go out and build the media future the Gambia deserves. A future defined by independence, skills, and unwavering ethics. Congratulations once more, and thank you for your kind attention.
We are celebrating craft. The craft of asking the right questions, framing the right image, editing with purpose, and communicating with clarity and responsibility. At MAJaC, training is not an abstract exercise, as many of you already know. It is deliberate, demanding, and deeply practical. It is about understanding that every story you tell, every image you capture, and every message you produce carries power. Power to inform, to inspire, to challenge, and sometimes to even disrupt. Our guiding philosophy as a training institution has been simple. Skills must meet standards, and creativity must meet responsibility. In a world where anyone can publish, record, or broadcast, skill and responsibility are what sets professionals apart. Our goal was for you to leave MAJaC not just confident, but prepared to adapt, to learn, and to uphold standards even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. And you don't need to have somebody standing over your head for you to do the right thing. Over the past months and years for some of you, you have learned that journalism is more than holding a microphone. It is about verification, it's about balance and courage. That photography is not only about capturing images, but about framing truth. That film is not just storytelling for entertainment, but storytelling with intention. And that digital media is not about chasing trends, but about communicating meaning in an increasingly crowded space. Here in the Gambia, where our democracy, institutions, and social fabric are still evolving, the role of skilled and responsible media practitioners cannot be overstated. The stories you tell will shape understanding, influence accountability, preserve our history, and project our national image to the world. That is why, throughout your training, we insisted on practice over shortcuts, discipline over convenience, and critique over comfort. We pushed you into the field, into the studios and into editing rooms, and into teamwork, not because we wanted perfection, but because the transition from classroom to newsroom, from training room to production set, requires more than talent. It requires competence. The media industry does not reward excuses. It rewards professionals who can deliver. Our aim was never to produce graduates who simply hold certificates. Our aim was to produce individuals ready to contribute from day one. Professionals who understand deadlines, ethics, storytelling structure, audience responsibility, and the evolving demands of the media and the creative economy. Dear graduates, the tools you now possess, the cameras, the recorders, the editing software, your digital platforms are powerful. But tools do not define a professional. Judgment does. Integrity does. Skill does. In time when misinformation spreads faster than truth, when content is often valued over context, and when popularity can overshadow principle, your greatest asset will be your credibility. Protect it and build it. Let it guide every story you tell and every product you create. To the parents and guardians and husbands and wives, thank you for your patience, encouragement, and trust. To our trainers, the staff of MAJaC, thank you for your commitment to excellence, for mentoring with both firmness and care. Graduates, today you leave MAJaC not as finished products, but as prepared practitioners, ready to learn, ready to adapt, and ready to uphold standards wherever you go. The media and creative industries of the Gambia need your skills, your creativity, and your sense of responsibility. Carry the craft with pride, carry the discipline with humility, and remember always that what you produce has the power to inform, inspire, and transform. Congratulations to the class of 2025. We are proud of you, and we look forward to seeing the brilliant stories that you will tell. Thank you very much.
Graduation is not merely a ceremony. It is a declaration that you are ready to step forward to contribute and to shape the story of your nation, the Gambia. Today, I congratulate the graduates of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, young professionals trained in journalism, film, photography, communication, and digital media. These are not peripheral skills. These are strategic national assets. Skills as the currency of the 21st century.
We have 2 points.
We live in an era where skills, not titles, define relevance. Nations no longer compete solely on natural resources or geographic size. They compete on human capital, on creativity, on innovation, and on the ability to communicate ideas effectively.
Either MC or designated staff.
As the economist Joseph Schumpeter once observed, innovation is the engine of development. But innovation does not emerge in a vacuum. It emerges from skilled minds, and minds trained in to question, to create, and to connect. In other words, creation doesn't come out from any lacuna, any empty space. And it exists so that you question, you create, and you connect. And I remind you of what Professor Ali Mazrui reminded us, that Africa's greatest resource is its people, not its mineral. If this is true, and it is, then investing in skills development is not a policy option, it is a national imperative. And I know as a seasoned educationist, this is what you will tell the Gambian people, bind you to corner all the time, that education is power. And that's what Albert Einstein told us, and I keep on reminding ourselves all the time, that education is what will remain when everything is no more. Youth empowerment from demographics to destiny. Africa is the youngest continent in the world. The Gambia is no exception. Our youth are not a future population. They are the present force, the present innovators, and the present storytellers. And yes, also, the Gambia can be small in size, but big when it comes to our thinking capacity. So, this is a great nation, a nation that refuses to bow, a nation that believes in its future, a nation that is ready to signpost their development trajectory. That's the Gambia for you. So whoever claims that identity, that citizenship, know that you belong to that great nation. It's a nation that doesn't go for shortcut. It's a nation that doesn't go for the peripheral issues. It's a nation that doesn't go for those vices that helps you to bring down the country, bring down your integrity, and then now tarnish the image of your family, your country. In our context today, political independence is incomplete without skills independence. Because Nkrumah told the African people that independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa. And I tell you very solemnly, today and tomorrow, that is the development of the Gambia And the political independence of the Gambia will be incomplete. And it is incomplete without skills independence. The ability of our young people to earn, create, inform, and influence within a global knowledge economy. Make no mistake, you will be delaying your development. You will be doing something else, but not development, not sustainable development. Any sustainable development must be anchored on human capital, highly skilled, youthful population, ready to take charge of their destiny. That's what Edward Francis Small left for us. So let's take note. The strategic role of media and communication skills. Graduates, you are entering professions that shape public consciousness. Journalism sustains democracy. Film and photography preserve memory and culture. Digital media defines how nations are seen, heard, and understood. In a world saturated with information, credibility is power. In an age of misinformation, ethical communication is national security. And you all know what happened in Rwanda. Le Radio de Mille Collines. You heard it. The journalists came forward and burned down their country by using the radio stations, the televisions, spreading misinformation, dividing husband and wives, dividing brothers and sisters, killing them, and to the extent that they ended up facing genocide. So misinformation can easily bring insecurity, can easily burn down a country. So you have that power. You have that power to preserve the integrity, sanctity of this nation. But you also have that power to burn it down. It's up to you now. It's up to you. What will you do with that power? Divide your people, burn down your country, or call them for development, call them for peace, call them for national development, call them to preserve what is so dear to us, to preserve this beautiful nation. Banjul remains Banjul. What would you hand over to generations yet unborn? But you have that power. Nobody can stop you. When you are in your radio stations, your TV stations, your media houses, we will not be there. What you write, what you say, what you produce, we will not be there. But you have that power. But your training asks you to preserve those ethical values as a journalist. And that's what Dr. Martin Luther King told the Americans when they invaded Vietnam. He asked them to come to think about a new definition of greatness. That greatness is for you to have the power to conquer, yet you restrain yourself. Because we all know, America can conquer Vietnam. Yes, there were some challenges, we all know. But then, you were able to conquer, but you decide to restrain yourself. That's greatness. You have the power to burn down your country, yet you decide to restrain yourself. Yet you decide to think about national interest. You think about the common good as enshrined in our national anthem. We do sing the national anthem, but we don't pay attention to the keywords. It's a core value for us Gambians. Common good. Anytime anything you do, you must ask yourself whether it is in line with the common good. If it is not, then you would have failed your people, failed your family, failed the nation. Not so, Officer Sanyan. Thank you. And that's what, beyond the soldiers, you also will be another set of security officers defending the common good, national interest. As the Nigerian writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie cautions us, the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. Your responsibility is to tell complete stories, not incomplete. Degana, Kililawa. You don't belong to the generation of Degana. You are a people that tell the full story, not the incomplete story. Stories that reflect truth, dignity, and the complexity of Gambian and African realities. Your responsibility is to tell this story. Government's commitment to skills-led development. As Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MAJaC, I reaffirm today that skills development remains at the core of our national development agenda. Under the leadership and dynamic leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, we are strengthening TVET and creative industry pathways, modernizing curricula and forging stronger partnerships between training institutions and industry. And we want to encourage, and I'm told here, and this is part of your DNA, and I want you to now do it in percentage format. Going further, to have 70% practical and only 30% theory.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. Good afternoon. It is with great honor and humility that I stand before you today on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismail Asise, to grace this important occasion. Today is a celebration of academic achievement, personal growth, and the promise of a brighter future for our nation. Graduates, your journey to this moment hasn't been an easy one. It has required discipline, sacrifice, resilience, and determination. On behalf of the Honorable Minister and the government of the Gambia, I extend heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. We celebrate not only your success, but the role you are about to play in shaping our nation, the Gambia. The theme of this ceremony, from graduation to nation building, how media and communication drive socio-economic development, is deeply relevant to the Gambia's current development trajectory. As a young democracy committed to transparency, accountability, and inclusive growth, our country depends heavily on responsible media and effective communication to sustain its progress. In the Gambia, media and communication are pillars of democracy and development. They inform citizens, promote civic participation, amplify development initiatives, support social cohesion, and give voice to communities across our nation, from urban centers to rural villages. A well-informed society is an empowered society, and empowered citizens are the foundation of sustainable development. Graduates, as trained media and communication professionals, you're stepping into a sector with immense responsibility. You will shape narratives, influence public opinions, and help bridge the gap between the government policies and the people they are meant to serve. Your work has the power to promote peace, unity, and national identity, while also supporting economic growth and social transformation. However, with this influence comes responsibility. In an age of digital media, artificial intelligence, and instant information sharing, the risk of misinformation and division is real. Nation building requires communicators who are ethical, critical, and conscious of their impact. It requires professionals who value truth over trends, accuracy over attention, and service over self-interest. The Honorable Minister encourages you to uphold the highest standards of journalism and communication. Let integrity guide your work. Let accuracy define your reporting, and let responsibility shape your engagement with the public. Your credibility will be one of your greatest assets, and your contribution to national development will depend on how wisely you use your voice. The government of the Gambia recognizes the critical role of the youth in driving socio-economic development. Your creativity, innovation, and digital skills are essential to advancing key national priorities such as youth empowerment, education, health awareness, gender equality, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. Through strategic communication, you can help mobilize communities, attract investment, and promote positive social change. To the management and staff of MAJaC, the Honorable Minister extends sincere appreciation for your dedication to building human capital in the media and communication sector. Your commitment to excellence, ethics, and practical training has prepared these graduates to serve the nation with competence and professionalism. You have invested in shaping minds that will influence the nation's narratives for years to come. To the parents and guardians, today is also your day of pride. Your sacrifices, guidance, and unwavering support have made this achievement possible. The nation thanks you for nurturing the next generation of communicators and leaders. We thank you for entrusting your children to this institution, MAJaC, and for standing by them throughout their journey. Graduates of MAJaC class of 2025, as you leave this institution, remember that graduation is not the end of learning. It is the beginning of service. The Gambia needs your ideas, your voices, and your commitment. Use your skills to build trust, promote development, and strengthen national unity. Be communicators who inspire hope, encourage dialogue, and contribute positively to the society. The knowledge and skills you have acquired must now be applied in the service of national development. Wherever your career takes you, whether it is in media houses, government institutions, civil society, private sector, or entrepreneurship, carry yourself with humility, discipline, and purpose. Let your voices be voices of reason. Let your platforms be platforms for development. Let your careers contribute to building a peaceful, informed, and prosperous Gambia. On behalf of the Honorable Minister and the government of the Gambia, I congratulate you once again and wish you success, purpose, and impact in all your future endeavors. May your journey from graduation to nation building be one of integrity, service, and meaningful contribution to our beloved country. Thank you, and congratulations once again.
It is a singular honor to address this ceremony, being the 2025 MAJaC graduation ceremony, on the topic upholding the code, the GPU's role in mentoring and protecting the next generation of ethical Gambian journalists. The GPU firmly believes that ethical journalism is the foundation for building a professional media workforce and to establishing core journalism values
that this noble profession was built on. Like us globally, ethical journalism is seen as the forerunner of journalistic core values. The duty of the journalist is to further those ends by seeking truth and providing a fair and comprehensive account of events and issues. In order to entrench these values, the GPU developed an industry-wide code of conduct for journalists, which is reviewed every 5 years to incorporate new ethical concerns and challenges the media is faced with. Journalists and their profession are faced with significant ethical challenges as new issues like information disorder and artificial intelligence emerge in an increasingly technological driven world. It is in line with these changes that the GPU revised the Code of Conduct this year. The Chernojalo Charter for Ethics, the Chernojalo Charter of Ethics for Journalists, as it is known, remains a fundamental guideline for journalists and the lead reference to the promotion of ethical journalism in the media. The revised charter outlines key ethical principles which are universal in nature and acceptable globally. These principles include truth and accuracy, media freedom and independence, accountability and transparency, fairness and respect, privacy and human dignity, social responsibility and human interest, and honesty and protection of sources. Today, journalistic practice is changing in a manner that challenges the foundation of media ethics. Technology has blurred the lines, and the walls of TV, radio, and internet are overlapping. Journalism is no longer as clearly defined as it was in the past as citizens are engaged in journalism. With the democratization of media technology that allows citizens to engage in journalism, and publication of many kinds has blurred the identity of journalists and the idea of what constitutes journalism or ethical journalism, especially as it relates to digital media in the 21st century. That is why new sections and provisions have been added to the Charter, which includes hate speech, fake news, disability, and artificial intelligence. In September 2021, the GPU conducted and published research on hate speech in the Gambian media. Analysis of media reports in the last 7 years indicates an upsurge in stories that could be categorized as hate speech. Web-based publications publish more hate speech than any other media type, followed by the print media. The reasons could be the dictatorship that existed before 2017, stifling free speech, and heavily censorship print, radio, and television. The online media, which was mainly a diaspora phenomenon, was depended on by the people to vent their frustration. The inclusion of disability in the Charter will address ethical concerns related to reporting on persons with disability who make up 16% of the world's population and are often overlooked, misrepresented, or ignored, perpetuating stereotypes. Meanwhile, the rise and control of artificial intelligence is impacting society as a whole. It follows that AI coverage must inform audiences about the implications of the technology itself beyond journalism. For instance, reporting on the power dynamics in the changing relationship between companies, authorities, citizens, and computer chips
and between data and algorithms. While many AI developments serve public interest, journalists also need insight and expertise to alert about aspects like exclusion, unethical benefits, and violations of human rights. Journalists need to know about the central ethics, ethical discussions, and regulations around AI, and realize that fears and hopes that AI may evoke in the popular imaginary. Journalists need to reflect upon AI in their field as well, and be prepared to approach AI-driven techniques and methods in an accountable way to maintain a sustainable relationship with their audiences and the thing that lies at the core of journalism, which is trust. In order to ensure that journalists fully uphold their code of conduct and to enhance the GPU's role in mentoring and protecting the next generation of ethical Gambian journalists, a number of capacity building programs were implemented this year, one of which was a training for 75 urban and rural journalists on ethical reporting, journalism code of conduct, and the role of the Media Council of the Gambia, conducted in February in partnership with UNDAF. In October this year, the GPU also partnered with UNESCO to provide training for 40 journalists on ethics, with a focus on the new sections of the Charter: hate speech, information disorder, disability inclusion, and artificial intelligence. The GPU and the Media Council also embarked on a nationwide tour of media houses to discuss ethical concerns and to promote ethical journalism across the country in 2024 and 2025. These initiatives came at a time when growing concerns about ethical violations were beginning to undermine public trust and credibility of the media. While the Charter recognizes independent journalism and press freedom as a core principle, overall, it is meant to promote responsible journalism. In order to mentor and build a sense of ethical and responsible journalism among young and aspiring journalists, MAJaC, which is the training arm of the GPU, provides training on ethics to students in 4 levels of study: at foundation, certificate, diploma, and advanced diploma. As a result, the Academy has produced a quite number of good journalists in the media landscape, whose contributions continue to shape the industry with excellence and professionalism. And as a new set of students graduate this year, the GPU's message to them is to be ethical journalism ambassadors of our profession. I therefore urge you all to religiously uphold the Charter of Ethics for Journalists and to learn from the most experienced journalists in the newsrooms. Without ethics, journalism is nothing. You have a reputation to protect. You have an industry to protect, one that has come under attack over ethical concerns.
It is a profound honor to address you today at this momentous graduation ceremony in the Gambia. As we celebrate your achievements, we must confront a pressing reality in an era dominated by digital disruption and global information flows. The media and creative industries demand a workforce that is not just skilled, but competitively excellent and professionally insatiable. Quality assurance, of course, in technical and vocational education stands for unbreakable pillar of upholding this imperative, transforming raw talent into media creative workforce that is capable of competitive that is capable of thriving in a competitive landscape. The media sector has evolved from traditional broadcasting to multifaceted ecosystem encompassing digital journalism, content creation, media production, and creative storytelling across platforms like social media, streaming services, and immersive technologies. Globally, the creative economy contributes over $2.25 trillion annually to GDP in regional broadcasting, digital entrepreneurship, and cultural exports, but only if TVET programs produce graduates equipped with industry-relevant competencies from AI-assisted editing to ethical data journalism verified through rigorous quality assurance frameworks. Yet, challenges persist. There are skill mismatch that plague over 40 to 60% of media hires in developing regions, where outdated curricula fail to align with employer needs, like mobile-first content and cross-cultural collaboration. And of course, without quality assurance, TVET risks producing a workforce that is ill-prepared for automation, misinformation battles, and gig economy volatility undermining national competitiveness. Quality assurance in TVET is a systematic process of planning, implementing and evaluating educational standards to ensure output meets stakeholder expectations, benchmarked against international norms like those from the UNESCO, UVEC, or African Continental Qualifications Frameworks. Core mechanisms include competency-based curricula, accreditation of programs, continuous assessment via key performance indicators, for example, 80% employability rates, and partnerships with industry for work-integrated learning. In media, TVET quality assurance mandates integration of practical skills such as drone videography, podcast production, and digital analytics, which are validated through external audits and tracer studies. For MAJaC graduates, this means programs audited for alignment with professional standards, ensuring that you master not just tools like Adobe Suite or Final Cut Pro, but ethical frameworks for combating fake news and fostering inclusive narratives. Evidence from successful models like Singapore's MAJaC Academy or Kenya's TVET reforms shows that quality assurance boosted TVET elevation of employability by 25 to 30%, thereby creating professionals who innovate rather than imitate. Of course, there are a number of pathways for competitive media creative workforce. And to forge along this pathway, stakeholders must prioritize curriculum modernization, which is embedding emerging technologies and competencies like VR storytelling, data visualization with quality assurance-driven periodic reviews tied to labor market intelligence. Assessment and certification should shift to outcome-based evaluations, including portfolios and capstone projects accredited nationally and regionally for mobility. Faculty and infrastructural development, in which quality assurance mandates continuous professional development for trainers and continuous professional development for trainers, and state-of-the-art studios as seen in Gambia's NACA-aligned initiatives. Industry linkages makes it mandatory for apprenticeships and advisory boards to ensure real-world relevance, reducing academia-industry divide. Equity and inclusion, in which the quality assurance framework traces up gender parity and access for rural runners, building diverse creative voices. These steps position Gambia's media talents to compete globally, contributing to the sustainable development goals like quality education, decent work, through knowledge-driven creative economy. For you, the graduates of MAJaC and policymakers, you are the vanguards, therefore uphold quality in your practice by pursuing long-life learning and ethical excellence. MAJaC and policymakers at NACA and beyond will continue investing in quality assurance as a strategic enabler, not as a bureaucratic hurdle. Let us commit today to a TV ecosystem where every media creative emerges competitive, professional, and transformative. I want to point out dwell on a point that was made by the Honorable Minister of Education. If you can remember, he talked about negative journalism and fake news, where he was even talking about the possibility of you, the graduates, being sanctioned for bad media reportage. I want to tell you that in some parts of the world, where you engage in bad media reportage, you tend to be a sort of embarrassment to the institution that may even lead to the withdrawal of your certificate. So you have to take this seriously. You should engage in responsible reportage and responsible media. Thank you.
Thank you. The name Gur meaning man in Wolof and Guru Scrambler in short Guru meaning a hustler. See, be a man not easy, but embark on a journey of hustling because you're expected to be hustling like a real hustler. Then stand firm and work for your needs and not always be a beggar. See, your health and strength are means to fight your future, so be stronger than ever. Kon takal sa ndiga gor ndikam turi gor si gor la bahe. Na lo tek ñu teggi lo ñodi mu daga bu tax nga dagale ñu lu way jot yomb tax lepp yomb ko modu yombal wala comme nan patax ndox lu yombe. Si même lem lu neex taxul lem si yombala baye way neex mota jakati lem muk di lambale. Kon wuti ko comme koy jafte na matu moy lu ngay jakaro ele kon gorul ta ñafé. Gorul ta ñafé nangoy har sey tanki tubé. Hey mbala gondu. Ta mana musu si waxambaane ni naaje na man na asi hebaate te góor du hicco wante te góor dëgg balaa doon góor fa nga nangoo doon góor dëgg fas jom góor te liggéey dëgg la ñu ne góor yombul waaye jigéen jafe te kat am na jigéen ñu man góor bés bu ne ñu si kawam di xëy di gont bu dimbale bëccëg ñu ngi jàpp duñ mu sa bàyyi duñ mu sa taay te duñ ragal kon jërëjëfee jigéen ñi ndax jàmbaar ngeen ana jigéen ñu man góor kon yow mi ndaw si loo mënti yëngu góorgóorul believe in you have faith keep the race don't rest because one day you just smile and be the best góorgóorlu rek ay yóbbu réew kanam muy mag ndaw góor wala jigéen si loo mënti yëngu góorgóorul believe in you and have the faith have the strength because you will smile kon yow mi jàngaleel xam-xam law njëriñ askan bi kon yow mi jàng nangol jàng am xam-xam njëriñ sa bopp njëriñ askan bi kon yow mi sax muy caméra góorgóorlu capture the real version capture the real image and inspire the world save the country kon yow muy bind di tas xibaar na déggu na wóoru na wér ndax xibaar bokk ni ci defar réew ndax xibaar dañu ñu defar xibaar na si njëriñte ndax xibaar dañu defar jikko yi boole askan bi def ñu benn kon góorgóorlu leen man ndaw góor jigéen góorgóorlu rek ay yóbbu réew kanam kon ne leen góorgóorlu thank you